Was it important for you to treat this one like any other fight you've had, rather than get too tied up in the idea of a new sport, not only a new sport, but against an amazing champion like Usyk? Was it important for you to just think, I'm just having another fight like I've won some in the past?
No, 100%. I totally understand the whole situation and the dynamic that we're in. Like, ooh, he's like the unbeatable guy. Like, what an opportunity I have to show that he's not that unbeatable. So for me, it's just a man with two arms and two legs. And yeah, I'm excited. And I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna showcase who Rico Verhoeven is, the former undisputed kickboxing champion.
Fights where you're in and many people expect you to win, or certainly don't give the opposition too much of a chance. Now you come into this fight a significant underdog.
Yeah.
That must be a new sensation for you, or certainly one you haven't felt for a few years. Like, there's not many people giving you a chance in this fight in the boxing world. Like, how does that feel? Does it release the pressure? Does it feel nice in a way to feel?
No, for me, because I don't go off on anybody else's opinion. I don't think about it. I don't use it. For me, it's just like everybody has their right to their opinion, and I leave that. It's what you think, and it's just up to me to prove you wrong. That's it, because I put the pressure on me. He has the target on his back. He's been having the target on his back for so many years. I had the same. So I've been so used to the big lights, the big sold out arenas, all the media attention, the pictures, the interviews. I'm used to that pressure. I'm used to that because I've been doing it for the last decade. So for me, that's not new. So I'm putting the pressure on myself to make sure I perform to the best of my ability. So I'm not putting myself like, oh, I'm the big underdog, so there's nothing to lose. No, there's definitely something. I'm not even thinking about losing. I'm gonna win. And when I win, I'll write history.
With the fight of Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven approaching, excitement is not just rising, but overflowing. The fight isn't all about what will go down in the ring, but about what comes afterward. For Oleksandr Usyk, the pressure of the match goes much deeper than just one fight. Is this going to be another story for Usyk, or is this the fight that changes everything? For the winner of this match, many questions are beginning to rise with Rico himself in the mix.
You know, another fight I'd like to see him in with, and I would do it if they're interested, is against Usyk.
Already? He's ready for that?
Yep.
Are they interested?
I haven't spoken with him about it. He's fighting this kickboxer, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you think that's...
Is it kickboxer or MMA boxer?
No, it's kickboxer. Are you interested in that fight?
Look, I'll watch it because I'm in the sport. I'll watch it. It doesn't particularly interest me for what it is, no more than, you know, when Tyson had the fight against...
For Rico, chasing greatness is not something gimmicky or even theatrical. It means stepping into the ring with the best of the best and showing the world that he can make it among the elite. With inspiration from greats like Mike Tyson, who popularized the WBC Championship gold belt, he realized what an opportunity it could be for him to validate his boxing journey. The minute the title from the World Boxing Council became involved, everything changed for him as well as for the sport as a whole.
Now you get the chance to fight for yourself. Like, when you had the idea of fighting Usyk, did you expect there to be titles on the line, or did you expect it to be an exhibition, or was it like, I'm only want to fight him if there's belts involved?
No, I was just like, I want to fight the very best, and if there's going to be belts involved, let's go. What a blessing. So, then when they said it's going to be the WBC, I was super excited, and to me that made sense. I understand that for people outside of the sport of boxing, within the sport of boxing, they don't really understand the context. So that's why, like, for me, I can give them a little bit of context and perspective of what I've done, because only the WBC acknowledges kickboxing and has a Muay Thai belt as well.
And there's when the noise began creeping into it. Questions about how skipping the cue is possible just kept getting louder and louder. However, for him, it was a matter of perception, since those within the realm of boxing knew how high he had gotten up, although it might have not been so obvious to others. With the full backing of the WBC behind him, the suspense disappeared, replaced with something much more profound: acknowledgement.
So they understand my kickboxing credentials. So for them it was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. So, but like I said, I understand if you don't know that, it's easy to say like, huh? How does this guy skip the line like that? But yeah, I got an amazing track record within the sport of kickboxing.
At what point did it become clear that they were happy to sanction this? Because like you mentioned there's been a lot of controversy about it. You said the phrase skipping the line, exactly what people have been saying. When did the WBC say, actually that's cool because we acknowledge his credentials here?
Yeah, I don't know, somewhere.
From the outset?
Yeah, like when they announced the fight, they said like, hey, it's gonna be WBC. And then there were some rumors like, we don't know. And then they said like, yeah, we're gonna sanction it because he is who he is.
As the discussion turns towards his opponent, you begin to realize just how much into the fighting world Rico actually delves. This is not someone who enters the sport blindfolded. He studies, analyzes, and dissects this form of entertainment for many years now. As a true fan of the sport himself, he monitors all the different fights in various disciplines, whether boxing or mixed martial arts, and even other sports, and follows up on the upcoming matches way before they take place. Therefore, hearing about the name of Oleksandr Usyk does not come as a shocker to him, as he had watched his rise in the cruiserweight class before.
And let's just have a bit on Usyk. At what point did you become aware of the name Oleksandr Usyk? Is he someone that you've followed, been aware of for a long time, or is he kind of a new?
No, of course. Like I said, I've been following the sport. I'm like a freak is maybe a little bit crazy, but like, I don't really dig into the sport and also into the competition and the potential competition. And like I'm a fan. I'm a fan of martial arts, of mixed martial arts, of boxing. So I just like try to follow as much as I can. So because there's so much these days, it's hard to keep up. But like I heard the name Usyk from years and years ago.
What sets Rico apart from everyone else is the fact that instead of following Usyk's tactics, he wants to surprise him. While other boxers have already figured out the techniques which are used by Usyk, Rico is an entirely new entity who will bring a whole new perspective because of the knowledge gained during kickboxing.
He was like dominating the cruiserweights.
How do you go about beating him? Because obviously nobody has. He's a formidable force, and he looks like he's getting better with age. You could argue that the Daniel Dubois win was his best one since he's moved to heavyweight. 100%. So how do you go about beating him? Like, how do you put those things in place?
Being different. I think he's dissected the sport of boxing to like another level. So he knows exactly if you do this, then you do this. So, and I'm a kickboxer. So I think that's...
Moreover, Rico dismisses the idea that boxing is any easier for being a fight with less weaponry involved. To him, stripping away kicks, knees, and whatever else there may be in the fighting arsenal does not decrease the level of threat, but merely intensifies it. Kickboxing is a fight where one can take damage everywhere, from every side at once. In other words, one is under attack from all sides constantly, like a storm that one must learn to weather. Yet, when one steps into the boxing ring, it becomes a whole different story. Now all the threats are concentrated, delivering more hits to one's head and body.
That's going to be the biggest difference.
This might sound like a stupid question, but when you're kickboxing, you have to worry about everything else, not just fists. Now you go into a fight with a man who can only hit you with his two fists. Does that make the proposition less daunting, less dangerous, or is it?
No, definitely not. No. Definitely not. No, it's. I think you are correct. There are like two weapons that you don't have to worry about, but now there's so many other things to worry about, and getting punched more in the face and getting punched in the body. So, like I said, I'm so used to taking the damage like more widely spread. And now it's gonna be...
Rico is not bothered by any notion of the role reversal because being the underdog doesn't make a difference in his life. Rico is accustomed to having expectations, forecasts, and opinions about him change from match to match, but this does not make a difference for him at all. No matter what people think, Rico stays the same. He is always focused on working on himself and ignoring everything else because in the ring, no one except him makes a stand.
Fights where you're in and many people expect you to win or certainly don't give the opposition too much of a chance. Now you come into this fight a significant underdog.
Yeah.
That must be a new sensation for you, or certainly one you haven't felt for a few years. Like, there's not many people giving you a chance in this fight in the boxing world. Like, how does that feel? Does it release the pressure? Does it feel nice in a way? Does it feel
No, for me, because I don't go off on anybody else's opinion. I don't think about it. I don't use it. For me, it's just like everybody has their right to their opinion.
Additionally, Rico knows without a doubt that he does not have to look outward for motivation. This is because he knows that the opinion, the odds, and the talk of underdogs are meaningless, considering that he is the one who has the pressure to begin with. After spending more than 10 years under the limelight, going through sold-out concerts and the media's relentless hype, he is thoroughly used to this type of atmosphere. Rather than treating this experience as an all-or-nothing game, he takes it much more seriously, seeing it as a time when he must play at his peak.
And I leave that. It's what you think, and it's just up to me to prove you wrong. That's it, because I put the pressure on me. He has the target on his back. He's been having the target on his back for so many years. I had the same. So I've been so used to the big lights, the big sold-out arenas, all the media attention, the pictures, the interviews. I'm used to that pressure. I'm used to that because I've been doing it for the last decade. So for me, that's not new. So I'm putting the pressure on myself to make sure I perform to the best of my ability. So I'm not putting myself like, oh, I'm the big underdog, so there's nothing to lose. No, there's definitely something. I'm not even thinking about losing. I'm gonna win. And when I win, I'll write history.
On the other hand, Frank Warren plays down the idea of a crossover fight involving Oleksandr Usyk, treating it more as a talking point than a serious sporting priority. While he admits he would watch it as someone deeply involved in boxing, he doesn't see it as a matchup that truly changes the landscape of the sport. In his view, these kinds of bouts sit more in the category of curiosity than competition, similar to when Tyson faced Ngannou. It's intriguing from an entertainment perspective, but for him, it doesn't carry the same weight as traditional boxing contests where rankings and legitimacy are on the line.
You know, another fight I'd like to see him in with, and I would do it if they're interested, is against Usyk.
Already? He's ready for that?
Yep.
Are they interested?
I haven't spoken with him about it. He's fighting. He's kickboxer, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you think that's...
Is it kickboxer or MMA boxer?
No, it's kickboxer. Are you interested in that fight?
Look, I'll watch it because I'm in the sport. I'll watch it. It doesn't particularly interest me for what it is, no more than, you know, when Tyson had the fight against...
Moreover, Ade Oladipo puts the growing speculation around Oleksandr Usyk into perspective, especially as talk builds around crossover fights and long-term matchups. While there's been discussion of a possible run of final bouts, potentially including Verhoeven, the winner of Wardley vs. Dubois, and even another clash with Fury, he makes it clear nothing is firmly locked in. He also notes that ideas like a 2027 fight with Benavidez are being floated at the highest level, showing just how wide Usyk's potential path has become. Rather than a strict retirement timeline, it feels more like an open chapter, where Usyk continues only if the challenges stay meaningful and worth pursuing. As Usyk gears up for his bout at the Pyramids of Giza, former champion Johnny Nelson shared his take on the situation. He suggested that while some may question a kickboxer stepping into a world title picture, Usyk has already answered those doubts by clearing out elite opposition and cementing himself at the very top of the sport. Nelson also highlighted the financial reality behind the move, noting that Usyk isn't in the same earnings bracket as Fury or Joshua, which makes smart, high-profile fights important for him. However, Gareth A. Davies offered a different perspective from Nelson on the idea of Usyk facing a kickboxer. He suggested that although the matchup may generate excitement, it doesn't carry the same weight as a genuine legacy-defining fight. Davies referenced Deontay Wilder as an example, noting his long reign as WBC champion, multiple title defenses, and his iconic trilogy with Tyson Fury, along with his reputation as one of the hardest hitters in heavyweight history. So who takes it if this matchup ever happens between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you back Usyk's elite boxing IQ and experience, or Rico's power, pressure, and world-class kickboxing pedigree translating into the ring? It's a fascinating clash of styles either way, and opinions are split down the middle. And don't forget to subscribe for more fight breakdowns, updates, and deep dive analysis as the debate continues to heat up.